Welcome back, my friends. Nice to see you again. It is not a FIFA career mode video today. It is not a Bournemouth career mode video today. We're doing something a little bit different. Now, because European football has officially entered the summer break stage, Champions League just finished, so that was the last major European competition. We're going to be predicting the Premier League standings for next season today, super early before all the major transfers happen in the summer. We're going to be taking teams from 1 to 20 and placing them and see who gets relegated, who finishes in the Champions League spot, who makes it into Europe, who flops, who impresses, all of that stuff. If you do enjoy these types of different videos, let me know down in the comments what else you want to see. Otherwise, please hit the like button for me. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button for me with the little noti bell. Let's go predict the Premier League standings super early for next season. And I'm going to show you how it's going to work. Okay, so as you can see, we have 7 different tiers going from champions, then Champions League spots, places 2 to 4, Europa League spots 5 and 6, Europa Conference League spots 7, higher mid-table 8 to 12th, lower mid-table 13 to 17, and then relegation, the teams that are going to go right back down to the championship, 18 to 20. All the teams that will be taking part in next season's Premier League are listed right there in alphabetical order, and it is an updated list, as you can see, because Burnley is here, Luton Town is here, and Sheffield United is here. And we're just going to go from A to W and start placing them where I think that team is going to finish. So we're obviously going to start with Arsenal. They had an incredible run this season. How they're going to do next season, I think they will still do well. I think Arsenal will add, especially to their midfield. I heard Declan Rice is coming to Arsenal, but I don't think they will be champions. I think they're going to finish somewhere in the Champions League spot, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, somewhere around there. Now, when it comes to Aston Villa, I think they had a very surprising season this year. Unai Emery has been an incredible help there. Like, he changed the entire club around. They went from, I think they were in 16th when Emery came in, and they finished in a Conference League spot. Unbelievable. Can they replicate that same thing next season? I personally don't think so, because there are other teams that underperform that will do better, specifically teams like Chelsea. So I think Aston Villa, although they had a really good season this year, I think they're going to be somewhere in the higher mid-table section, maybe like 8th or 9th. I think they're just going to miss out on Europe, but I think they're still going to have a pretty decent season. And now we come to Burnley, who's been absolutely rejuvenated by Vincent Kompany. They used to play that boring 4-4-2 football that everybody hated back in the day. They are not like that anymore. This is a completely different Burnley side, and I don't think they're going to get relegated. I think they're going to be in the lower mid-table, somewhere 13 to 17, probably closer to the 16-17 spot, but I think Burnley is going to stay up in the Premier League. Bournemouth, my beloved Bournemouth, what a surprise this season. Nobody gave Bournemouth a chance this year, honestly. Everybody put Bournemouth in a relegation spot this season, and they proved everybody wrong. How they're going to do next season, they're probably going to need some few key signings, obviously. They're going to need to spend some money to replicate what they did this year in order to stay in the Premier League, but I think they will. I think they will stay up in the Premier League. Again, kind of the same area as Burnley, 16, 17, maybe 15, but I think Bournemouth stays up as well. Brentford. Now, this is an interesting side because Ivan Toney won't be playing for half a year for Brentford next season because he's suspended. And Ivan Toney provided, I think it was over 40% of Brentford's goals this year. So they're going to have to find goals somewhere, whether it's signing another striker or maybe Mbeumo has to step up and just keep on scoring like he did towards the end of this season. But I think Brentford is still quality enough to definitely stay up in the Premier League, even without having Ivan Toney. I would put them somewhere in the higher mid-table as well. They're still pretty quality, probably closer towards the 11th, 12th place, but Brentford definitely stays up. And then we come to Brighton. Wow, what a team they were to watch this season. I think they were everybody's favorite Premier League team to watch and keep an eye on because they were just so exciting with the likes of Enciso and Mitoma and McAllister and Caicedo. So many fantastic players. Evan Ferguson, where did he come from? Seriously, unbelievable. Now, how Brighton will do next season, I'm not 100% sure because they're going to lose a few key of their players. They already lost McAllister. He went to Liverpool. Caicedo might be gone, might stay. No one actually knows what's going to happen with Caicedo. They have brought in James Milner. They have brought in Mahmoud Daoud from Borussia Dortmund as well to kind of help out in the midfield. But I also think that their players that they have now that are staying, like Mitoma and like Enciso, will only get better. So I think they will still be very, very good. Will they qualify for a European spot next season? I'm gonna probably say No, I'm gonna say no. I think they finish where the likes of like Aston Villa are, probably 8th, 9th, but I think they're still gonna have a good season just because, like I said before, other teams are gonna have better seasons. Like Chelsea's gonna have a better season. I think maybe even Tottenham, maybe even West Ham will have better seasons. Maybe Fulham will have a better season. We'll get to Fulham once we get there. You know, Newcastle is still up there. Maybe Wolves can turn things around. There's still like a lot of question marks. So I think Brighton finish in a respectable high mid-table position, but I think they just miss out on Europe. Going from an exciting team to watch this year to one of the most horrific teams to watch this year, we're going from Brighton to Chelsea. Where does Chelsea finish next season in the Premier League? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think they do better than 12th. I think they finished 12th this season. They were absolutely dreadful. They couldn't score, but if they could find a striker, I think Nkunku is coming. Is Nkunku coming from Leipzig? You guys let me know. I'm pretty sure Nkunku is coming. Can he change Chelsea's goal scoring problems? He might be able to. And if he does, like, Chelsea will be better next year. Let's be realistic here. You know, as just like a neutral football fan, I think Chelsea will be better next season. Like there's no way they become worse, right? Like there's no way Chelsea finishes worse than 12th. I think they still finish in a Europa League spot. I think they're going to finish like 5th or 6th. We're going to see some improvement from Chelsea for sure. Man City, what can I say about Man City? They won the treble this year. They're going to win the Premier League next season again. They're just too good. Honestly, they're just way too good. They're too much quality. Pep is an incredible manager. They control the ball so well. An unbelievable team. I mean, they're going to be champions. They will be champions again next season in the Premier League. That is almost a guarantee. I mean, who's going to beat them? Who's going to give them a run for their money? Is it Liverpool? Maybe. Is it Arsenal? Maybe Manchester United. But I think Man City is still better. I think Man City is still better even if they don't change a single thing and every other team loads up with players. Man City is still better. Man City are champions next season. Everton, what a scary end of the season they had. They almost got relegated. They were this close to playing in the championship next season. They somehow avoided it and they stayed up in the Premier League. Now, how they're going to do in the Premier League next season, I personally think that they do better than they did this season. They heavily underperformed last season. I think they stay up again, but I think it's probably going to be again in that lower to mid table, probably 13th, 14th, right in front of the Burnley and the Bournemouths. But I think Everton definitely stays up. Forest, another team that was this close, just like Everton, this close to being relegated. They stayed up. I think they get relegated next season. Honestly, I think Forest get relegated. I'm sorry, Forest fans. Don't take your hate out on me in the comments. I think Forest gets relegated next season because I just don't think the quality is there. I think there's much better teams, and the teams that they did beat this season will improve. I guess you could say Forest will also improve, but are they going to improve enough to stay up in the Premier League? I don't know. I think they get relegated. Fulham with Alexander Mitrovic. What a season they had. They had a very, very, very good season this year. And honestly, I think if it wasn't for Mitro getting suspended against in that referee fiasco against Manchester United in that cup game, I think they would have qualified for a European spot because Mitro was gone for, I think it was 10 games, and they still had that consistency and still, you know, kept afloat. But if Mitro was there, they were missing some of his goals because he is an absolute goal scoring machine. Seriously, if he didn't miss those games, he would have finished third in goal scoring this season in the Premier League. And because of that, I think Fulham take a next step next season and qualify for a European spot, and they get into the Conference League. I think they get into the Conference League next season. They were really good this season, and if Mitro starts behaving himself and consistently scores those goals like he did this season and the year before, I think they get into Europe. Liverpool, disappointing season this year. Klopp even said that he was very disappointed, but they've already made additions. Alexis McAllister from Brighton signed for Liverpool. He's going to be a huge addition in that midfield, so I think Liverpool greatly improve on their finish this season, and they finish in that Champions League spot. They're back. They're going to come back for sure. For sure, they're going to come back. I don't know if it's going to be Arsenal second and Liverpool third or somebody else, but I think Liverpool definitely qualifies for the Champions League next season. Like 100%, Liverpool is back. Luton Town, probably one of the best football stories of 2023. An absolute fantastic story, an absolute fantastic stadium. People should be very happy that they've qualified for the Premier League and they will play in the Premier League next season, but I can't see them surviving, honestly. Let's be realistic here. Even if they add a few players, like, there's just no way Luton Town stay up, right? Like, there's no way they avoid relegation. I think they're gonna get relegated. I'm sorry, Luton Town. I love you. I have a Luton Town shirt. I promise. I do. Where is it? It's right here. It's right here. I have one. I want you to stay up, but you don't stay up. I'm sorry. I apologize. Please don't hate me, Luton. Please. You guys are going down. I'm sorry. And now we come to Newcastle United. Wow, another beautiful story, another great story in the world of football in the Premier League. Eddie Howe and Newcastle are going to be playing in the Champions League next season. If you told me that at the start of the season, I would have told you to go see a psychologist. Seriously, I would have told you that you needed some help. There was no way anyone predicted Newcastle to qualify for the Champions League next season, honestly. But they did. They did it. And I think they continue their European journey. Although not with the Champions League, I think next season they finish in a Europa League spot. They're a very, very good quality team. They're very good defensively. I believe they let in the least amount of goals in the Premier League this season, and I think that's going to carry over into next season as well. Crystal Palace, another one of those mediocre teams. You know, people always think they're going to get better every single year, and they just don't, but they actually don't get worse either. They just stay and hover around that mid-table. They always do this. They always do this. They somehow find a way to survive, but they also somehow find a way to never progress. So I think I'm just gonna put Crystal Palace into that lower mid-table 13 to 17 spot with the likes of Burnley, Bournemouth, Everton. So that's where Crystal Palace is going. I'm sorry, Palace fans, if you disagree with me. Listen, I have a Palace shirt as well. I do. I really do. I do, but I can't see Palace getting any better. I really can't. I don't think Palace is getting any better. Sheffield United, welcome back to the Premier League. Sheffield United, you're going back down to the Championship. That's all I gotta say about Sheffield United. I can't see Sheffield United surviving. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please don't roast me in the comments if you're not happy with your team's placement here. This is just all for fun. This is just my personal opinion. I just can't see Sheffield United staying up. Can you? If you can, there's no way. You got to be realistic. Sheffield United is going to be relegated. I'm sorry. Tottenham. Oh, Tottenham. What are we going to do with you? Is Harry Kane leaving? Does anybody know? Is he staying at Tottenham? Is he going to Manchester United? Is he going to Real Madrid? What's happening with Harry Kane? Listen, if Harry Kane leaves, Tottenham is in trouble, honestly. If Harry Kane leaves, Tottenham is in trouble. Tottenham is in trouble even if Harry Kane stays. I know you guys just hired a new manager, and honestly, everybody thinks it's a promising thing. That's fantastic. I hope it brings some positivity to Tottenham fans. And there's nothing much you can do about that. You just have to cheer for the team that you cheer for. I think Tottenham is going through a little bit of a rebuild now. There's a few things that they definitely need to change. I think they will not make it into another European spot next season again. It'll be 2 years without Europe for Tottenham. I think Tottenham finishes in a respectable 8th or 9th with the likes of Brentford and Brighton and Aston Villa, but I think they miss out on Europe again. They need another year. They need another year to rebuild with the manager, with a brand new manager, a couple of probably brand new signings. It also all depends of what happens with Harry Kane. If Harry Kane stays, if Harry Kane goes, who are they going to bring in if Harry Kane leaves? There's just so many questions around Tottenham. No one actually knows what's going to happen. So with that being said, I think Tottenham misses out on Europe for a second year in a row, but they probably get back to European football again in the next 2 or 3 or 4 years or something like that. I wouldn't count them out completely, but next season, I think they miss again. Manchester United, Ten Hag's Manchester United, super solid season this year. They started off poorly. If everybody remembers that, they started off so bad. Honestly, yeah, I saw Mark Goldbridge ripping out his hair in the beginning of the season. Everybody remembers those those fixtures and those results that they had. They were absolutely bad, but man, did they ever turn it around. Now, the one thing that Manchester United need is probably to replace guys like Anthony Martial. They need somebody that can score goals besides Marcus Rashford. They just probably need to replace guys like Christian Eriksen as well, because Christian Eriksen is kind of getting on as well. They need some midfielders, another midfielder to play with Casemiro, somebody with more quality, you know, not a Fred, not a McTominay, somebody else. They need somebody else, but I think Manchester United still stays up in that Champions League position, second, third, or fourth. It'll be Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man United. That's going to be your top four for sure. And the last two teams in West Ham and Wolves, honestly, I mean, congratulations to West Ham for winning the Conference League. I watched the semifinals, I watched the finals, I watched some of the group stage matches as well. Admirable performances. They're going to be playing in Europe next season, so congratulations. I think West Ham does a little bit better than they did this season, and they finish in this higher mid-table position with the Brentford, the Brighton, the Villa, the Tottenham, and ultimately West Ham. I think that's what they're going to be. And Wolves avoid relegation, but I don't think they make any progress. Wolves, I'm starting to look at Wolves the way that I look at Crystal Palace. They're just becoming that mediocre side without any real progress over the last couple of seasons. They're just kind of, you know, floating around that mid-table, you know, just not really going up, not really going down, not really doing anything significant. They definitely need a striker. They need a lot of things. Crystal Palace needs a lot of things, but I think West Ham improves. They will miss out on a European spot because, like I said, other teams will get better. I think Fulham will get better, and Chelsea will get better, of course. Liverpool will definitely get better, but I think West Ham is going to have a really good season next season. They're going to have a good season, and they might even do some damage in the Europa League. You never know. They'll probably get out of the group, but we'll do those predictions when the Europa League draw happens, and the Conference League draw happens, and the Champions League draw happens, all that stuff. So thank you for watching. This is my table. Let me know if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, if you want to pull my hair out in the comments. I mean, do your best. Please don't take it too seriously. This is all for fun. This is all kind of just like lighthearted stuff, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, guys. We will have more career mode videos, and we will have more videos like this. If of course you're interested, let me know down in the comments. I'll do more videos like this, and we'll just have fun. We'll have fun throughout the entire summer until the next Premier League season begins. All right, take care of yourselves. I hope you guys have yourself a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, peace.